Man, the last time I heard this song, I took this girl out to Nobu. We had a great time. I ate this Thai food though. It was killing my stomach. My stomach was killing me. It was so bad. For the guy who was cleaning and cleaning the bathroom, man, it went everywhere. What is up, internet world, and welcome back to Acceler8. I'm Mike, he's Ian, and today we're in the 2024 BMW Series XM. So let's talk about what's going on here.
Let's talk about what's going on here.
This is the BMW XM. It's the second ever M designated product. Now you'll say, well, there's the M3, there's the M4. Well, they're actually the 3 Series and the 4 Series that they've M'd out of those cars. But this is one and only. It comes only one trim, one way, and it's only designed like this, the XM. There's no other versions of this thing. This is it. This is also very expensive. It's the most powerful M vehicle ever made. Whew, there's a lot to unpack here. Let's get into it. So the first ever M car is the original M1. Now that's a very long time ago, back in 1970-71. So today we have this XM that's built in Spartanburg, North Carolina. They employ 10,000 people and they focus on all X product. X5 obviously and X3, but this thing is not built in Germany, which is kind of weird. It's an XM, it's a halo product for BMW. They actually have this competing against some big boys, the Bentley Bentayga. They actually have this competing against the Audi RS Q8, even the G-Wagon, the G63. This thing is no slouch. This thing is not cheap, and this thing is designed for bowlers.
For what?
Bowlers. Bowlers, you know, the ones that just bowl? Bowlers. So in this video, we're going to talk about how fast this $159,000 BMW is. We're going to talk about the front, the side, the back, the inside, and give you my opinion on it.
And I'm Matt Watson, and you're watching Car Wow.
All right, BMW XM with a 4.4 liter V8 twin turbo plus electric motor that makes 644 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. Now, I've put stability program in MDM and I've put it in sport mode. I'll put my foot to the ground. I will get launch control active and let's try to get this thing in under. All right, the Draggy just decided to stop. All right, Draggy. Still keeping launch control. Come on, come on, come on, Draggy. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And we're on. And oh my God. 8-speed transmissions booking. 3.8. Okay, that's like on. It's like, okay, let's get it one more time. It's so funny, it completely shuts off. And this is with 1 kilometer battery range left. Okay, launch control active and go. Woo! 3.76. Getting a bit quicker, getting a bit quicker. All right, one more time for good luck because we do 3 of them on the channel. So foot to the ground, give me some power. A bike's just flying by. And we're going to. This 8-speed hits pretty hard actually. 3.77, so that's it. To the front of the XM, take a look at these split headlights. At the top or at the front, you have these DRLs, and then underneath it is where you have the headlights. This is sort of a weird design character for an XM, the halo product for BMW in their SUV lineup, because this is something you see on the more like economical or economical vehicles out there, but not on something this expensive. Anyways, if I move in the center is what I really like. I like this iconic glow they have around this kidney grille. Then you also have the XM right there with the gold in it, and then you have gold all the way around. When I first saw it, I thought, wow, that's a really beautiful rose gold front end, until I realized I have no idea what rose gold is. Now this design on this hood is what BMW has started to put out there. They're putting a lot of squareness in it, and then they're flaring the hood in this sort of wave design, and I like it. It's sort of nostrily, it's aggressive. At least they're not really elongating this front anymore. Now when you move down from there, it's a joke because this has green plates. Green plates. This thing makes over 600 horsepower. It has a 4.4 liter V8 underneath the hood. That is an absolute joke. Welcome to Canada. From there you move below, you have a lot of piano black, obviously a lot of inlets to suck air in. Of course you have your radar, and this front end is very, very high. I used to think that they used to design cars that if it hit pedestrians, the pedestrian would just jump, but there's just no way. This thing is a brick wall. If this thing hits me, goodbye. To the side of this 6,000-pound Goliath, well, I would like to tell you that this does not have air suspension. It does have regular suspension. However, they are adaptive, so you can adjust them from soft to super hard. The other thing it does have, it has 48-volt roll bar stabilization, which means when you're whipping around a corner, it'll kind of hold you together. It's a BMW, so I expect all that. So if I start at the front here, you will see it has piano black cladding that goes around the wheels and all the way down the vehicle. These are 23-inch monster wheels. It says BMW right there. Kind of weird, but whatever. It's got M Sport badging on the wheel itself, and then if you look right behind, it has a black M Sport calipers that says M all over it. Then you have more XM cladding that follows all the way down in more gold. You have BMW's M mirrors right there. Of course, you have a 360 camera. That is pretty typical. Now you'll see a lot of this design characteristics inside the vehicle, but on the outside, you have it on the door handle. That you will see on the inside later. Because it is a plug-in hybrid, you have to use this right here. We'll open it. Oops, this is where the gas goes, and I'll show you where the electric part goes. This is really good running. Ta-da! Push this, and it opens up, and you get to plug it in. And somebody who had this car last broke the top part. Now, as I walk past the charge port on this XM, I'd like to tell you that it has a 30 kilowatt hour battery. You get 31 miles worth of range. It is 6 inches longer than a conventional X5. It's got rear wheel steering, and it has the most beautiful back end of any BMW SUV I've ever seen. It is ultra futuristic, including not having a badge right there. It's actually engraved in the upper glass on both sides. I'm not a huge fan of having the badge right there on both sides. I think it's kind of weird, to be honest. It'd be cooler if it was done in a different way. Maybe at the bottom, a really small one engraved right there. That'd be pretty cool. You obviously know it's a futuristic car, and that's gonna want you to approach it and say, what is this thing? And then you see X, and of course you see the most powerful letter in the world, M. Even though the shape is very rounded, the way they've done these taillights are beautiful. They are not flush whatsoever, they protrude out, and it gives it this three-dimensional look when looking at the vehicle from the back. Even when you look at this glass, it's completely seamless. It's super tight to the panels. There's no panel gap. Obviously there is, but it's very, very, very tight. The only thing back here is the XM badging in the gold that you see across the vehicle in the front, side, and back. Now moving down from there, you have piano black everywhere. You have dual stacked hexagonal tailpipes that are so unique. I love how they're left and right. This looks very super SUV style for sure. Anything Urus related looks kind of like this, and this, when I see it, I'm like, yeah, this is worth big money. It is. And then you have, of course, more gold, and then you have these cool little rear valences with a reverse light right there. Now give me your opinion, not on the exhaust, but more so this reverse light. When we do other brands that have the reverse light really low, people hate it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Front seat of the BMW XM. Okay, so interior color, because that's the first thing people see when they see the inside of the XM. So the top is called Coffee Vintage Merino. And the seats, the blue, is called Aquamarine, like the watch from like 20 years ago. These seats are very sporty, hold you in, they have massage, heated, ventilated, the whole deal. This is an M car through and through because look at this steering wheel. Ton of carbon fiber, you have the M1, M2 buttons. It is sweet. This is on other M models, but hey, I love this steering wheel. But the biggest shocker slash punch in your face is this sunroof. It's got this prism design and it's got over 100 LEDs. And on top of that, it doesn't open and there's no glass. But that is okay because the back seat is what luxury is about. The back seat doesn't have any creases. It's one straight piece. It's got pillows. It's very comfortable. But I'm the driver. What about me? Well, I have 644 horsepower, so thumbs up. I also have a heads-up display. I have a 12.3-inch screen, a 14.9-inch screen, a ton of carbon fiber, like I mentioned, an M Sport shifter. Of course, you have all your different buttons that you can adjust how fast you shift. And of course, you have your different drive modes. You've got your M mode, your M hybrid mode, and then a button to open and close the flappers of the exhaust. And you have M aluminum pedals. And of course, illuminated M behind my head. The back of the luxurious XM. So this is called the M Lounge. And I'm a huge traveler, so lounges are part of my vibe. When I sit in the back here, I can tell you that it's very soft. There are no bolstering whatsoever. It is basically a flat seat with lots of plush little contours. It rounds out perfectly. It's very soft is what the bottoms are. The backs are also similar. It's a little bit more sporty in the back here, but the luxury piece is what happens when you see this wrap around the door panel into the back seat. And because of this wraparound, these seats do not adjust. There is no way for me to actually recline them. They're just one position, one way, and that's it. However, they do give me this little pillow in the back, and this pillow does say M on it, which is pretty cool. XM, love it. Love that, but there's no adjustments, and there's no ventilation either. It is heated, and there are, you know, cooling controls back there, but that's very similar to a BMW M or X5 or X5M. So what does it give you a little bit more? Well, it gives you some adaptability to put some sort of, you know, visualization back here for TVs. You do have little pockets, but it's just more luxurious. It does feel good. I just wish these seats would recline a little bit more. But anybody that doesn't know this car, and I'm totally jaded, will get in here and say, wow, this is crazy. Look at this roof. It is wild. Like, it feels very opulent and very, like, expensive, not gonna lie. Now let's open up the trunk of this XM and see how much room we have. Now, generally speaking, when you are rich, you actually don't need trunk room because you have things delivered and things are on location when you show up. But for the odd time that you have to hang around with peasants, this is what the space you get. 46 inches worth of depth. Peasants didn't like that. And as far as width, you have 47 inches wide, almost 4 feet. Now, I was trying to find some sort of storage underneath this, and there is nada. This thing doesn't open, it's completely fixed. I have this little panel, obviously, that sticks right here. There is a first aid kit on that side and some electronics on this side. The only thing I have here for like usability is a 12-volt plug. There's no way for me to fold the seats down. You have to do that from the inside. There is a rear panel here, and you get more of the same design as you do in the sunroof inside. But where is the plug? There's no plug here. It probably comes in a case and somebody took it out. But then the other thing I asked myself is, how about height? Well, the height of loading is this high. This is how high I have to be to load it. It has a pretty high loading dock. So no flowers for you, Linda. I just got a lot to say about how this car is. Now, it's got some cool little gadgets. I agree with these lights and stuff, which is what Mercedes-Benz likes to really push in our faces. BMW, not so much. But I do appreciate that this is an SUV, which is crazy to say, but it's just built for what 2023 is kind of about. How do I say this? Spoiled. That's probably the best way to put it. This is a spoiled BMW X5M in every way. Like, it's special leather, it's got a special color, it's got special lights, special wheels, special carbon fiber, special seats, special roof. Everything about it is special. 2023. It's just a lot of money for what you get, in my opinion. But if you want to be different, that's what you have to pay for. And because other brands have just gone outrageously crazy with dollar amounts and they still sell, and there are people in the world that will flip allocations on cars because they can't get them, and people are throwing money at cars because people don't believe money is worth anything anymore, this is what you get. A crazy overpriced BMW X5. It makes 644 horsepower, but it does 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. It checks the box because it's environmentally friendly, because it has a hybrid, plug-in hybrid component to it with a really small battery at 29 point whatever kilowatts. That's not a lot, man. That's not a lot. It should have like a 50 or 60 kilowatt battery and give you like 70 miles worth of range. But this thing is trying to attack the G-Wagon crowd. And it kind of does, because this thing was parked. And I had like 30 people walk by and stare at it, because it's different. I even had someone in a G-Wagon look at me hard, not just glance at me, like look at me hard. We like locked eyes. And maybe that's why people buy it, because in my opinion, the X5M competition is badass. That thing weighs less, you can throw it on a corner, it's as stiff as this in sport mode. It's just different. That's what this thing gets, a different award. This 8-speed transmission doesn't shift as fast as I would have expected it to, knowing that this is an M car. I'm in second gear, and watch and listen. Watch my finger, cool red back here. Let me give you a little bit of a rundown. BMW's kind of changed its brand a little bit. Their brand is more dedicated to lifestyle nowadays than the actual performance of cars. They're performance oriented, but we already know that. It's like a staple. We know that it handles well, built very solid. They have all the aesthetics to kind of check the boxes. As I mentioned, I took this to a buddy's shop and they're like, man, they love this car. And these guys, all they do is performance stuff, and they're like, they love the way this looks. They feel like BMW nailed this BMW XM. They love the styling. They love all the cool interior, all the pieces, all the touches. So it checks all the boxes for everybody. And that's why this piece works really well for the lifestyle brand. So all the lifestyle influencers out there love the XM because it's a lot of gadgetry, a lot of cool materials that they've mixed together. But if you're actually gonna go buy one and you're gonna spend the money, if you want to be unique and different, this is a perfect car for you, SUV. If you want something that's more sporty, that gives you all the same pieces, maybe without the plug-in part obviously, then you definitely want to buy the X5M. That is a weapon. That is great. If you have this similar dollar amount to say buy the Porsche Cayenne Hybrid, I will be tough. Those are tough. Not a huge fan of the Porsche Cayenne Hybrid. It's big dollars as well. I prefer the GT if you ask me. But yeah, I mean, the GT definitely rocks. Like, that GT was quick. This thing is a little bit more luxurious than that. This is sort of like sporty, luxurious. It does have a bit of a boaty feel for sure. It is a little bit louder because it says 23s on it, but it's unique. This is a unique BMW. Sort of unique BMW. So BMW is making another version of the XM because this only comes one way. It's going to be called the XM Label Red, like the whiskey. And on top of that, it's going to make more power, 735 horsepower and 735 pound-feet of torque. It's going to have a price of $185,000. So if you want to be different, you want to buy something that is sort of close to whiskey, then I would go ahead and buy that. And I would also comment below and let us know, because we want to know who all the subscribers are that are watching that have dough. Yeah. So we can borrow your cars for reviews. Now, I will be honest, when I saw the XM in black, I was like, this looks sick. In this color, it's a little bit soft, too soft for me. I feel like it needs to be harder, more badass, you know, that kind of thing. So anyways, let's take this thing around a corner and let's go have some fun with this bad boy. Oh, these 23s, ooh, you can feel the 6,000 pounds, but it does hook really well. A little bit top heavy, ooh, baby, okay, nice. So we don't really talk about sound systems on our channel, but I will say this Bowers & Wilkins sound system is fantastic. So I hope you guys like this review on this 2024 BMW XM. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think if you make it to the end of the video. Always like to know that. Catch you in the next one.